Hello, good afternoon. My name is Alexis Dutro. I am Rosebud Lakota Sioux, and I currently am a environmental science major at Tohono O'odham Community College. And I'm going to talk about the purpose of safe water resources. Um, so, yeah, okay. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is what are water resources. Water resources you can use for multiple factors and you can also find them in different resources. For example, look for them in lakes, streams, reservoirs, springs, and natural groundwater. These five natural resources you can be treated and you can use them for safe drinking water and then other important uses that you have to use them for. The three main sources where you can find them are the groundwater, surface water, and rainwater. Groundwater, you can find groundwater that's under the land surfaces, but also accessed by wells, but can also be very dangerous if you overpump groundwater too much, which means that you can get like different chemicals or different parts of dirt or any kind of like sources that comes up with that groundwater. Surface water can be found on surfaces, for example, lakes, ponds, rivers, rainwater, natural water that falls from the sky. The one thing I also want to talk about right now is what is safe water. So safe water is a fundamental and human need. We use this for the well-being, for example, drinking water. It is critical for preventing waterborne illnesses. It's also very sustainable in helping economic growth and in having a sustainable development. However, this still is a very important topic and a challenge for different parts of the world or tribal communities that are still being developed as of right now. And we're going to talk about a little bit about the Safe Water Drinking Act. So the Safe Water Drinking Act was set in place and was passed by Congress in 1974. Between now and 1974, different amendments were passed and added to protect different water drinking uses and how you can properly use them and what it can do for tribal communities. Has tribal lands been affected by non-safe water sources in different parts of the communities? The answer is yes. I have also interviewed multiple elders about the water resources. So multiple reservations and tribal lands have been affected by non-safe water resources. Um, Tribal communities need to have a safe water source, but if they don't have that, they have to resort to using water filters and going to local grocery stores, buying gallons of water or water bottles if needed to be. And this has been another big topic because farmers and agriculture people like need safe water to be able to farm and cook with and have natural uses on the land. How can you tell if the water is safe to use? So if you go to your local, I'm sorry, if you go to one of your local web pages and keep a lookout, it can tell you how you can tell your water is safe to use. The color of your water and the smell of your water. That is the most important thing to look out for is the smell of your water. If it's smelling not normal, then you immediately need to call your authorities that deal with your water immediately. And especially look out for the color of your water as well. So how do we address these issues? So there needs to be a different approach that involves government, your society, different communities themselves need to get together and talk about this approach. Multiple communities are not being talked about enough due to water quality going down, and also trying to get in contact with the water conservation to talk to them about what you need to do about keeping your water safe to drink and to use. So this is also continued from the previous slide. So improving water infrastructure is also essential. It is also ensuring that safe water supplies are maintained. This includes maintaining treatment plants, distribution systems, storage facilities, and household connections. So if you're using your water to cook with, to clean with, or to garden or farm with, this is very important to keep in touch with your water conservation department to make sure that nothing is wrong with your water. In many cases, water infrastructure requires significant investments, which may be challenging for different parts of the communities and governments because there's a lot of work that has to be done in order to maintain your water infrastructure. And that is pretty much it. Yes.
Alexis, that was great. Do you think climate change is having an impact on water resources?
Yes, because there's multiple, in my opinion, a lot of water resources. I go to school at Tohono O'odham, so I've noticed a lot that water has been affected. Some of the students that I've been acquainted with, they use water filters because the water quality is not that good, especially because they're in a dry, sandy climate. So you obviously get some of that dirt particles in the water, kind of what I was talking about with groundwater. You plow too much water up, you get kind of that grainy stuff when you over pump too much, which can also be really harmful for the water when you over pump in wells.
Yeah, and things like drought really impact that, right?
And that's very much an impact.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you very much. That was a great presentation.